Welcome in to I Remember My First Time. Oh, don't be nasty, Jacob. Not that first time.
Damn it.
This is a podcast about cinematic awakenings.
I like the sound of that.
Where we talk about the movies we love with someone who just popped their cherry to that movie.
Okay.
Jacob, are all the movies we do on this podcast going to be good movies?
God, I hope not.
Do we like shitty movies?
We love shitty movies, sometimes even more than good movies.
Are we critics?
Absolutely not.
But do we love movies?
Oh, we love the shit out of movies. In this week's Christmas masterpiece.
It's not a classic yet.
No, but it will be. It is Netflix's new A Christmas on Mistletoe Farm.
What a lame title to a movie. Jacob, education comes in all forms.
BJ, let me hit this magic mistletoe real quick.
Is that what you thought when you heard the term magic mistletoe?
A little bit, yeah. I was like, fucking sweet. We live on a pot farm now.
I am professional poo picker-upper, BJ Leica.
Joined as always by me, Jacob Beakus. And I have a confession, BJ. I'm coming out.
I knew it.
As a podcaster.
Oh. Well, Jacob, this week we had a... What do we call this movie?
This was our attempt at doing a shitty Hallmark movie.
Christmas on Mistletoe Farms. Described by
Not farms. It's a singular farm.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Get it right.
I will call it Mistletoe Lane. I'll call it Christmas in Mistletoe Farm.
That's okay. It just can't be plural. Call it Lane all you want to.
This movie is described by Netflix as... After inheriting a farm at Christmas time, a widowed father makes a bumpy adjustment to village life while his kids hatch a plan to help them stay there forever.
Yep.
I mean, it's a Netflix Christmas movie. Christmas is in the title. You don't even really need a description, do you?
No.
4.4 out of 10 IMDb for this movie.
Okay.
33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
And no Metacritic score found.
Yeah, I don't see the Metacritics watching too many Christmas movies.
No, you don't think the serious film auteurs are reviewing Christmas on Mistletoe Farm?
I think if they knew it had magic mistletoe, maybe.
There is obviously no Ebert review. I couldn't really find a review, so I took these 3 review quotes off of Rotten Tomatoes. This movie is 100 solid minutes of barnyard humor. You bet a pig pees in someone's face. And Malden moments. Did I mention that these kids have a dead mom, which is apparently a prerequisite for Christmas movies?
Okay.
Another bit of a review I found here. The movie soon falls apart in a shrieking, nonsensical mess of manic shouting and unearned grief exploitation. The story feels like chunks are missing. To be followed off with, to say this film is awful and Netflix should have never greenlit would be an understatement.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't find many good ones. So that's what you get for this episode.
So I don't normally do this, but this is just such a fun question for this movie. What on earth do you think the budget for this shit movie was?
There's no way it's much more than $1 million. It's under $1.5 million for sure. Has to be.
What would you bet on that?
Well, the fact that you know the answer, nothing.
$5.4 million.
Holy shit.
5.4.
No. On what?
Animal training. The plastic surgery on the vet's face. I don't know.
$5.3 million?
0.4. Don't undersell it. Yeah.
We could have made this movie for $700,000.
Yes.
And we know nothing.
No. But we could have.
Whew. Okay.
Yep. Diving right in. That's all I got. There are no how good it's done since then. It's a Netflix movie.
All right. Okay.
It's done well enough that we've watched it.
It's on Netflix. There's no way they can actually know if it was worth it or not. Nobody's downloading Netflix because they have a Christmas at Mistletoe Farm on it, right?
Correct. Tell me what you thought about this movie, BJ.
Oh, it was a pretty typical Hallmark Lifetime cheesy Christmas movie. Extremely G-rated. I might argue 2 G-rated, in my opinion. And I kind of know how these movies work, and the acting wasn't good. There were tons and tons of plot holes and missed opportunity, and the jokes were cheesy, but I watched it all in one sitting and somewhat enjoyed myself, and I did not think I would.
I did not watch this in one sitting.
I don't blame you. I thought there wasn't a chance in hell I was making it through this in one sitting.
You didn't make it through Batman and Robin in one sitting. No, I made it an hour through this movie, and I turned it off ready to go to sleep thinking this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Harsh. You've seen these types of movies before, right?
Yeah. Not in a while,
Okay.
but yes. It had a lot to do with the fact that I wasn't okay with how G-rated it was. That's not what I wanted out of this movie.
Yeah, I wanted a very adult romantic love story.
I did too. I wanted some sexual tension. You know what? Bare minimum, I wanted some motherfucking chemistry between the romantic leads. This movie gave none of that.
Okay.
And so when I turned this movie off last night at an hour in, I hated it. In fact, I called it garbage. And the last 42 minutes, it was pretty good.
Solid.
It was pretty good. The last 42 minutes make me think differently about this movie. It was pretty good.
Yeah, you didn't have the last 42 minutes on your actual first time, did you?
No. So this was better than my first time. Because at least this time she doesn't cry. So what'd you like about the movie?
Oh, man. That's a great question. I don't know if I can put a specific thing. I just kind of had a smile on my face most of the movie. It reminded me of those 90s sitcoms where the jokes are telegraphed from a mile away and just absolute absurd antics happened. So it reminding me of one of those 90s sitcoms was part of it.
Okay. I love the goofiness of it.
Mm-hmm. That, again, much like those 90s sitcoms.
Yeah. I loved how hot the school teacher was.
Oh, 40% of this podcast is just going to be me simping over the teacher.
Yeah. Like
I was smitten by her.
I've already told him that he can't pull his dick out.
Just like Michael Douglas didn't.
Show me your dick, Michael Douglas!
So we call it Michael Douglasing when you don't show your dick.
Yep. 100%. And I need you to Michael Douglas today.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
The last 42 minutes, like I said, I like the last 42 minutes. And I'm a little bitch in movies. I don't even try to hide it. If it's sentimental in any way, I will tear up. Doesn't matter how bad the movie is or even how connected I am to the characters. I don't know what it is. I'm a very sensitive person in movies.
Okay.
And whenever he was reading the letters to his dad, I teared up. And I like that part of the movie.
I did not come close to even getting a lump in my throat in this movie. I know I was supposed to at that scene. No, did not happen in the slightest.
It might help a lot that you've had your dad the whole time you've been around.
That's true.
At 12, my dad was like, deuces.
Oh, this kid's thing is rough. The kids are cute and the animals are cute.
Yes, and I like Bino.
Bino's pretty funny.
I can't wait to see him in more things. I don't know if it'll ever happen because I don't know anything about him. I don't know how big or small he is as an actor, but I would like to see him in more things.
I found he played that role really well. And are you kidding me? You got a small town redheaded school teacher with a nose ring who's into alternative education. Are you reading my diary, Netflix?
100% they are.
Man, that was exactly what I wanted.
The thing I didn't like about this movie is the entire first hour. None of it hit for me. Like, and Bino was in it for most of that first hour, and like I said, I enjoyed Bino, but like, I don't know, just the first hour. One of my top 4 scenes in the first hour. So, with that being said, didn't like first hour though, and I didn't like. Oh, there's one more thing. Doesn't matter. Didn't like first hour.
What was the turning point? Was there a specific scene? Was it the goat birth scene, or just what made you turn?
Yeah, the goat birth scene on.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why it did it. It just, the movie amped up to another level.
Yeah, and mine wasn't quite that long. Mine was until Bino showed up. I was about ready to give up on it. So that start to that movie is slow, which is weird because movies like this, everyone knows what's going to happen. We already know what's going to happen. Why are you spending so much time setting it up?
Oh, I forgot one thing that I liked about this movie that I didn't bring up. That it's cool for boys to wear sparkly, pretty shit.
That was the most wholesome moment of the movie.
Like,
I felt.
Let kids be kids. Like everyone thinks pretty stuff is pretty.
Yeah.
Like it just to nip a little bit of that toxic masculinity that's so prevalent. I was just like, good on you. Good on you, mate.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie. So what I didn't like, outside of the obvious tropes of these movies, the mediocre acting, the telegraph jokes, the lack of chemistry between two people who are supposed to have chemistry. Anyway, I thought there was some good stuff in here that they glossed over. I thought having the oldest child being like, oh, well, ever since my mom died, all my friends say I wasn't fun. Like, focus on that. That can be great in a movie. The boy getting made fun of for wearing the sparkles. Like, that might be your movie right there, is looking at those two and how they're dealing with that.
I can also understand why they didn't, though, because there's only 2 other kids in the school.
I know, but you didn't have to make the school 2 people, right? You could have just been in a small farming town. I just thought those things were interesting, and they just kind of passed them over.
I also didn't like how his dad ended up being the town crier and Santa. I'm like, fuck off.
That dude processed so much emotion
like
in such a short amount of time. And that's part of it, too, right? His reaction to his mother after finding that out should have been a big chunk of this movie.
Yeah, and I was fine with the letters. Like, I'm cool that Dad's dead. Like, the letters, cool. But, yeah, I didn't like that. It was a bad movie, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Bad movie.
Of course.
Like I said, I called this movie garbage at one point.
It's bad. There's no other word for it.
Bad. All right. As deep as we can go.
How deep?
Balls deep.
Mount Rushmore time.
In Mistletoe Farm. Balls deep in the mistletoe. Mistletoe might get you to go balls deep.
According to this movie, they got the magic. Mistletoe. Yeah. Oh, so I guess I got to start with my 4th favorite scene. I think it's the scene where the dad, I don't know his name, I don't care, gets his Christmas spirit back and goes and cuts down the tree and leaves the door open, and the animals escape, and they have the big hunt looking for the animals.
Yeah. That's a good one.
It's sweet. That's where the Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes. Blah blah blah.
That's on top. That's on my top 4. I like the animals escaping was funny. I mean, the dad's letters, it made me cry or tear up, whatever.
Not a bit.
Yeah, made me. I was just like, man, I feel that. And the funniest part of that scene is the vet just on her horse immediately, like to the rescue. I thought that was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I was just like, I laughed out loud.
Because they don't care about stuff like that in these movies.
I laughed out loud. I didn't think I could laugh out loud at that moment in the film, and I was just like, cool. My 4th favorite scene is probably the prettiest scene of the movie. It was the kids riding the bikes to the school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that looked really good on camera.
It looked so pretty, the countryside, and just to shoot, like, it looked good.
They all learned how to ride a bike in 10 minutes, and then we're told to go ride miles.
I was super impressed that they learned how to ride a bike by just going.
And they're riding miles 20 minutes later.
And I love that they just stop and they're like, wait, where are we going? And the village just pops up and they're just like, this way. Come on.
That was incredible. Just great bad movie shit right there. My number 3 scene, I'm going to go with the scene where Beano shows up. When they go to the house, I was really about to text you, telling you we couldn't do this movie when they showed up at the house. But when the girls went in the farm, I say girl, there was one boy. They go to the farm and Beano pops out. Yeah, but he likes
sparkly shit.
But Beano pops out, starts telling him about all the animals. A baby pig pees in his face.
This scene is on my honorable mentions because this is when the movie attempted to get better.
Sure.
Nothing else?
Nah, that's it. It's a Lifetime Hallmark movie scene. What are we doing? You know what scenes they are.
The pig peeing in the face was comedy. Comedic gold. My 3rd favorite scene is your 4th one we just talked about.
Oh, okay.
So your 2nd?
My 2nd favorite scene is going to be the real estate buyers inspecting the house and the villagers showing up and throwing crap on them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lead's boss shows up, who, what an absurd character she is.
Oh, her character was great.
Oh, my God.
Her character is the only reason I kept it on before Beano showed up.
And his buddy at work, they needed to give him more screen time.
I really like his buddy at work. And I loved his facial hair.
Yeah, my 4 favorite characters outside of the school teacher, because
she's the unquestioned GOAT.
No question about it.
Yeah.
But the 2 real estate agents, his buddy at work, and his boss were my 4 other favorite characters.
Yeah.
And they were all in this scene.
Yep. It's fantastic. I'll say more on that later.
Excellent. I knew it had to be on your list somewhere.
My 2nd favorite scene is a cheat, and yes, I did cheat in this movie.
Okay.
When they were practicing the Hoedown song and the Hoedown.
I really wanted to put practicing the Hoedown song in there.
I had to. The moment they did it, I was just like, well, I'm from Texas. This is way too funny to me.
The British people doing American accent. I've never seen it so funny as I did in this movie.
It was so funny. And then the words that they used, I don't even remember them now, but it was top notch. And then they brought it back at the end scene. And the end scene also had a YMCA song. I'm telling you right now, if you're a bad movie and you put a YMCA song in your movie, you're going to make my top 4.
I made fun of the jokes, calling them camping. You can see them coming a mile away. The villager people jokes in this movie. Like, I got to give props to that.
They're awesome. And him telling off his boss in this scene. Like, just so much good stuff happened with the Hoedown scene. And then it ended with YMCA.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, put your feet on the ground. I said, I don't know the words to this song.
YMCA.
What was that?
That's me fucking doing it, bro.
Podcast gold.
Podcast gold is what that was.
So are we already at my number one scene?
Yeah, what's your number one scene?
Goat birth.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
It is the turning point of the movie.
That's one of the big reasons. Is it is the main turning point. The lack of chemistry was pretty bothersome, but I thought both Bino and this is when the lead was at its funniest in this movie, was when the goats were giving birth.
That's true.
But look, it's a Hallmark Lifetime shitty Christmas movie. I have to have a number one scene. It's my number one scene.
Yeah, but there's just... Yeah, okay. My number one scene is, I called it the walkie-talkie scene. It's your number two scene.
Oh, the real estate agent.
Yeah, because they started off with walkie-talkies.
That is true.
Things you didn't bring up. I love the pranks that they did. The rotten eggs. What were they throwing?
I don't know.
It looked gross.
It was gross looking. I thought it was like beet something or other.
We got another pig pissing scene. Then he got rammed in his ass. I loved how they made the villagers seem like a barbarian horde protecting their land.
Awesome.
That was awesome. And then
just as goofy as they're dressed, they're still doing the barbarian herd.
Yep.
Even though they're all wearing bright colored knit sweaters.
Yep. And then we have ponies that are attacking, and then mini ATVs. I love the mini ATVs and all the kids having one.
Mini ATVs are funny.
Fuck yeah. And then to end it with the boss falling in the poop. That wasn't mud. That was poop.
She was so mad. She fired him for that.
Yeah. Incredible scene. So funny.
I do want to shout out the magic mistletoe scene where everybody starts hooking up with each other.
Yeah. I want to shout out whenever we meet all the villagers because my mom's maiden name Womble shows up in this movie for Mrs. Womble.
Mrs. Womble.
Yep. That's the Mount Rushmore scenes. We literally cannot go any deeper into this movie. That's as deep as it goes. I also have no trivia.
Oh no. So I can tell you about the trivia. Having seen movies like this and kind of knowing how they work.
Okay.
These movies are all filmed in like the middle of July. So it is balls hot out, but they have to dress like it's Christmas time. And everybody hates it. It's always everybody's worst part of being on these movies. And they film these movies in like 2 weeks. I mean, you are in and out. 2 weeks, they're shooting a full hour and 40-minute movie. But these movies are wild, bro.
And they're like, here's your paycheck.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. We jumped the gun on trivia, but I had to let you know that we can't get any deeper.
That's what I got. That I guarantee you, and if there's ever any trivia on this movie, it'll be all stuff like that.
Okay. Movie-related talk is shitty Christmas movies.
You like them?
I don't watch enough of them, but yeah, they're entertaining.
I like one a year, like them. And I may still have to watch another one because, like, I need the shitty romance.
I will say that I have enjoyed them more since getting in a relationship. Single Jacob never turned these on. Ever.
Oh, they're super lame.
Yeah. I'd rather watch a lame action movie.
This is the thing that there's certain lines you draw when you're in a relationship, and you're just like, me not watching any of these movies is not a line I'm going to draw.
Yeah.
So I've got to watch one or two with her.
Yeah. And for the most part, they're entertaining enough that one or two is okay.
And most importantly, they're short enough.
Yes. That is key.
None of them are 2 hours long.
No. And unless the casting director is just horrible, the leads have chemistry.
They do not in this.
No. It's probably the thing I dislike the most.
The lack of chemistry between the...
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, shitty Hallmark Lifetime Christmas movies are fun.
Yeah, like I said, they're once a year fun. The thing that always drives me crazy is when people are like, oh, they're so predictable. It's like, okay, when I watch an action movie, I know John Wick's going to live.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see the difference here. Two people are going to fall in love. I know John Wick's going to kill the bad guy.
Yeah. It's the same thing every time. Not only are two people going to fall in love, at some point in the movie, something's going to happen and they're going to break up. And then they're going to get back together 10 or 15 minutes later. John Wick's going to get the shit fucking kicked out of him.
And the beginning of those movies, it's going to be a big city guy or gal that has to go to a small town. Just like they're going to kill someone or something that John Wick loves.
But yeah, like it's just as predictable as anything else. Get off of it.
And you know what you're getting into.
Yeah. You didn't turn this movie on not knowing.
No, I'm not like, I wonder if this person's going to win an Oscar.
You were.
I was not.
I am
Except for the school teacher deserves one.
Also the costume designer. Did you see the villager's costume? More importantly, Beano.
What a wardrobe from Beano.
It was fucking bonkers.
It was wild.
I've never seen anything like that. I mean, while we're talking about it, let's move straight into character breakdown and start with Beano. Because honestly, Beano's the best character in this movie.
Beano's the movie.
It's not even close.
When the two leads that are supposed to hook up have that little chemistry, and I have a feeling that's why there's such little screen time between the two. The movie's about the quirky best friend.
Yeah.
And the quirky best friend's Beano.
Yeah. And Beano's great.
He's British John Candy.
That's exactly who he is. Yep. I was trying to figure it out. I went Chris Farley because of his physicality. But it's more John Candy.
Yeah, because the physicality was there, but it wasn't as wide. Like he wasn't jumping 10 feet off of a ladder, right?
Yeah.
He was doing like weird things with his hands and big expressions.
Yeah.
It was more John Candy.
Phenomenal. And again, loved his wardrobe. He never wore anything wrong.
Yeah, you're thinking this is nomination for Best Oscar for wardrobe design. Costume design?
100% I'm thinking.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah. We don't watch the Oscars. It's bullshit.
During the magic mistletoe scene, can we not get Beano a kiss in this movie?
I mean, literally everyone else got one.
Everyone, except for Beano. Do you think it's because Beano's fucking sheep?
I don't know, but I stand for Beano, even if he's fucking sheep. Even if he's a dirty sheep fucker.
Why are you standing up for sheep fuckers?
Because it's Beano.
Beano gonna be Beano.
Beano gonna bean. With sheep. If that's his thing.
All right. I guess now we move on to the main character.
The dad, yeah.
I don't know his name.
Wasn't that big of a fan of him.
Nah. I did like the fact that it wasn't super hunky guy.
Yeah.
In a Hallmark Lifetime Christmas movie.
I think my favorite thing about the dad, and you brought this up earlier, and I didn't even think about it until you brought it up, but now it's so funny, is they just didn't care about his job.
Oh, yeah. They didn't even attempt to tell you anything he did.
He just did business.
And pitches.
And pitches, yep. You don't even know what the pitch is about.
No.
He just has to pitch it.
Is it a marketing pitch? Is it a sales pitch? Are they trying to buy a company? Is a company trying to buy them? We don't know.
Doesn't matter. At all.
I loved how they just ignore, like almost comically ignored.
And it's so important to this character. It's literally the whole movie for him.
This is why I think this movie was written by an AI bot. Because a real person writing this gives him an actual job.
There's a real person credited with writing it on IMDb.
No, this movie's written by an AI bot.
I'm just telling you.
They didn't even try to explain his job. His job was job.
I know whose job we did get explained. Beano's. He's a professional poop picker-upper.
Yeah, he is.
That's what you are.
I am.
Who's next?
The vet?
Ugh.
It's her fault with the chemistry, right?
She seemed like she was the worst part of this movie.
Because I feel like he did have some chemistry with his friend at work at their generic job.
He had chemistry with everybody else he shared screen with. Even the old lady, Mrs. Womble.
Mrs. Womble. It's gonna be your mom one day.
Maybe.
She's gonna be the leader of the crochet club.
Jeez. Let's hope not.
So you hated her every bit. There was not one redeeming factor.
Nope.
I can't say that I disagree.
Worst part of this movie by far. And this movie was bad. Bad.
This is like being the dumbest kid at summer school.
You know, even though this movie was bad, I was more bored in Godzilla.
Oh, 100% this movie's better than Godzilla. Way less bored.
And I hated the first hour. The teacher, who currently BJ is over here drooling about her.
So I'm swooning over her. Just what an incredible character. I won't say anything bad because it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah. She was hot.
She was.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, you know what this calls for?
What's that?
Mrs. Nerris, just like Wayne's World, we salute you. Showing!
This isn't videotaped. You didn't have to
Yes, you do.
pelvic thrust like that.
I actually swinged her. You didn't.
I didn't. I said swing. I didn't swing.
I know. So you didn't swing her. Sorry.
Oh man.
You have to do it to do it.
So other than it being the perfect character, you got anything to say?
No. Which moves us on to the kids.
Miss Nerris, you're welcome on this podcast.
Oh, you know what? I loved her pro outlook on education.
Oh yeah, she was very alternative education.
Yeah. The kids reaping those benefits.
Yeah, they got to look at her for hours every day.
Aren't you jealous?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the character breakdown.
No. I gotta say one thing. The mailman. Arrest that motherfucker. He is reading people's mail.
Do they have the same rules in England?
Jolly old England. I don't know, but we care about freedom in America.
That's right, goddammit.
And his freedom was being infringed upon by that fucking asshole reading his letters.
Arrest him.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that motherfucker.
I did think he was a pretty funny character, though.
He was funny, and we also, before we move on, we have to talk about his boss, because she was amazing. I just want to say how amazing the boss was.
Very Moira Rose, Kevin's
Yes.
mom from Home Alone.
Yes, very much those vibes.
Big time those vibes.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it for character breakdown. Like I mentioned, there are no trivia or facts for this movie, other than the fact that you should skip the first hour, in my opinion, the first 20 minutes of BJ's opinion. Our impersonations.
Oh, no. We got British impersonations. So we're...
I'm horrible with accents.
So we're in the small town village, and so-and-so's the town crier. Hello, I'm the town sheep fucker. I go in to fuck the sheep at night. Sometimes the male sheep just can't please the female sheep, so that's why I come in. I know it's a thankless job, but everyone here really appreciates me fucking all the sheep.
That's pretty good. Wow, like, what am I going to do? You went with sheep fucker.
I did.
In a podcast that I defended sheep fucker, so good on you.
Thank you.
That was a smart move.
I'm a strategist.
Yep. I'm the only one of these lousy blokes that doesn't like the dirty little sheep fucker. But honestly, I'm glad he fucks the sheep because it leaves the cows off for me. And then bitches are broad. And I need a bigger hole for my big old cock. That sheep fucker's got a small little cock. I got the kind of cock that needs to be in a heifer.
Well done. You saw my sheep fucker and you raised me cow fucker.
Yep.
Boy, for as G-rated as this movie is, this might be the most F-bombs we've ever had in a podcast, which is saying something.
Yeah. So, final thoughts on the movie in general. Your rating of the movie, BJ.
Wow. It is everything you expect it to be. And I saw this movie in one sitting, so that's a big plus. And because Miss Nerris is in it, this is at least a point up because of Miss Nerris. Shout out to you, actress that plays Miss Nerris. This movie's a 5.2.
Okay. I'm going to give this movie a 5.
Straight up 5.
Yeah.
You liked half of it and you hated half of it.
Yep.
So that makes sense.
Yep. So yeah, 5.
That's all you got to say is it's a 5.
Yeah, you shouldn't watch this movie.
You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are better ones to watch this holiday.
There are. Watch those.
Is the Lindsay Lohan one better?
Yes.
Okay.
Should they remake this?
No.
You heard it here, folks. You should not remake it.
Anything to add?
Nope.
I said it all?
You did. Do we have a pessimistic producer?
We do.
Oh my gosh, he did it for the movie.
I can't believe he watched this movie.
Okay.
Tristan, thank you for watching this movie. Sorry we made you watch it.
Yeah, this movie was bad.
Christmas on Mistletoe Farm. There really isn't much to say for this one. As far as Christmas movies go, it's just another film to add to the never-ending list of unoriginal, predictable, uncharismatic holiday movies. The only parts of this film I can say deserve any recognition would be the scenery. The sets were solid and gave a nice atmosphere, which, by all accounts, were ruined by cheesy jokes and bad character development. This movie could have been better if more care had been put into the script. Overall, this movie belongs in the deepest recesses of the dollar store movie shelf. We went from Walmart bins to dollar store movie shelves.
Yeah, we did.
I give this movie 2 pregnant goats out of 10.
All right. That's fair.
Oh, yeah. You could absolutely give this movie a 2.
You can give this movie a 1.
Even though we both gave it 5s, we totally get it.
Yeah. This movie's more in line with being a 2. That's okay. Good and bad reviews from IMDb. Do I have trivia from IMDb?
Ooh.
I do not. But do I have good and bad reviews from IMDb? I certainly fucking do. 4 10 out of 10 labeled easily the worst movie I have ever seen in my life. You heard that right. That's a 10 out of 10 review. Easily the worst movie I have ever seen in my life by E. Buckman 8255026. E. Buckman, you're welcome on this pod. I haven't even read your review yet, but your title says enough.
You gave it a 10 out of 10 and said it's easily the worst movie you've seen in your life. Come on this pod.
Every year, I watch what I anticipate to be the worst holiday movies of the season and play a fun little game where they earn points based on how tropey and cringy they are.
Oh, this one was high in his point value.
This one blew every movie I have ever watched out of the water.
Ooh.
The acting, phenomenally terrible. The costuming, I think the design team just picked up a pattern book that said world's ugliest crochet and went with it.
Oh, you disagree with that one, though, don't you?
No, but it still deserves an Oscar. And went with it, zero further thought. The hoedown country bedazzle on and off queer coding of some characters, mwah! Chef's kiss. I believe in gentle parenting, and I am generally a patient and peaceful person. But this movie made me think if I were in the protagonist's shoes, I would do my best to reinstate capital punishment for that village. Every single turn in the plot somehow takes you to a more nightmarish destination than you were before. I was actually filled with rage. It was so beautiful. I'm crying.
Yeah, that guy. Anytime you want, just let us know.
Now for my 1 out of 10. And honestly, nothing can beat that 10 out of 10 review. That's one of the best ones I've ever read.
That's incredible.
titled A Brightly Colored Christmas Nightmare by Belter15. Christmas on Mistletoe Farm is the worst Christmas movie I've ever seen. The images are unnaturally colorful and sterile. The characters are cliche, superficial, and wacky, but not in a good wacky way. The actors are untalented and annoying. The sets, especially the costumes and setting, look dated Chinese cheap bazaar. Let's not even talk about the unimaginative and boring story. The Wokeness Club hovers over everything, including the little boy who likes to run around in glittery clothes and farm animals, all of which are spick and span as if fresh from the plush shelf outside. ...
I like how they're even making super G-rated movies woke now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 10 out of 10 was better.
Way better. Way better. And we already said you shouldn't watch this movie. So
it's not as much of a laugh as the should you not remake it. But I'm telling you, if you're going to watch one of these movies a year, there's got to be a better one than this.
Yeah, there is. Just watch that one.
Whatever one it is.
This movie was what it was.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Next year, it'll be a sexier one.
Yes, it'll be a sexier one next year. So we'll see you next Christmas. We have one more Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas surprise.
It's a Christmas surprise, just like Christmas presents are on Christmas Day, and we will be releasing it on Christmas Day.
And y'all are welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. So follow us, IRMFT Pod. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're everywhere you can listen to podcasts.
If you don't get anything good for Christmas, we're thinking of you, and we dropped a banger of an episode.
Oh, one more for the road.
Oh, your magic mistletoe.
One more of that magic mistletoe. We'll see you later, everybody.
Bye.